Hey there team, and welcome to part 20 of the Albion narrative campaign here. I paused the end of the last one just because we were about to strike Archaon. I think I want to get that underway right now. We might be a little bit bloodied up, but I think it is good, and this is a menacing force, but I think Dural would go for it here. But saying that, God, maybe they'll crash into us. Nah, it's worth it. It's worth it. We've got Archaon. We've got Archaon in our sights. I definitely don't want the Empire to lunge at them and take them out themselves. So, nah, we're definitely going for this. Everything else? Oh, yeah. I decided to name my Fen Beasts. I've named one Terror and one Dismay. I think, like, it's kind of course, for us, I was torn between either naming them something, you know, like Terror, something horrific, scary, or naming them something very, you know, pleasant, because we view these things as, especially like our fighters here, view these things as a very positive, you know, construct, but it's, they are scary, and so like Terror and Dismay, they're not like they're said quite softly to these beasts, but it's just to again, you know, spark the fear in our enemies that these you know, aberrant creatures or aberrant constructs really display. We're one turn away from Guardians of the World, but we've got to lunge at this, I think. What are you thinking, Archaon? Let's get to it. Now they luckily don't gain any advantage to being in an encamped stance. They've got a lot of nasties. Oh, magical attacks. Not for Dural, but I'm pretty sure Alan has a resistance to magical attacks. That's great. Armor of Morcar, pretty unpleasant. The Eye of Shirian. Shirian. A more ward save. Lots and lots and lots of ward save that he's got rolling around him. And then it's Keeps of Chosen, but our Viridian Lords, they 71 for 85, whereas that's, they do have more defense and a lot more armor, but we do have a lot more melee attack, and we do have armor piercing melee attack. So that's the thing that sort of pulls us out ahead. But yeah, what's going to be the battlefield here? And then we'll just jump into it. Hopefully something nice and corrupted, I'm pretty sure it will be. Either that or quite icy and cold. Oh, nice and clear and open. Okay, yeah, solid. Okay, let's go. Alan begins this fight with a quick fireball as the rest of our forces charge on forward. Dural leading as best he can, but slightly outpaced by the two giants, especially Togbolt. That's a very, very speedy giant there. But those two hell cannons are going to do some good damage to us as we advance on forward. And the horde of Chosen there, led by their Dark Master Archaon. Gonna be tricky. Definitely a good challenge for my Viridian Lords. But I don't just have Viridian Lords, of course. Our Fen Hulks and Fen Beasts. Dismay on the right, or is it Terror on the right? Yeah, Dismay on the right flank, Terror on the left. Just go tie these guys up. Our half giants quite badly bloodied up, so even though these Chaos Knights don't have an anti-large bonus, I don't really want to give them a good chance to just rattle into them with a quick charge, because that could eviscerate them. So I'm gonna leave the half giants back for the start of this fight and then send them on in after this fireball. What even? Alan! I think he missed. He missed. I set the fireball up there, I didn't look. Oh, I just assumed he hit. Dang it. Oh, that was just a warning shot, just to scare them a bit. But these Chaos Warriors don't really mind too much about fireballs, and they're sending much bigger fireballs back at us. Luckily though, colliding right into Terror, he's not going to mind that all that much. But Cacthor with his big old boulders going to be doing a good bit of damage. Bologs is actually the first to make contact there, tying up those Chaos Knights, while Togbolt is securing these Sword Chaos and various other Chaos Knights with lances as well. Fen Beasts making their way on in. Might be chosen with halberds, but somebody's just got to lock them up. I'm trying my best to get Dural wormed around. See if I can have him go toe to toe with Archaon. right now. So there is a bit of a gap here that is present, but I don't think I spot that. I think I'm moving him all the way around to see if I can make that fight happen. Got some Chosen there, tying up Bulldogs here, but he is going to be more than happy to rattle into them for some time. Continuing on. Druid Neophytes engaging there. Those, as long as the Chaos Knights don't charge them, they're happy enough to stay in that fight for a little while. Not landing a direct hit on this cannon, but really cleansing the cannon crew. I'm only seeing one... Wait. Yeah, there's only one little dwarf, and that's not enough to man the cannon. I think, I don't know if they need 2 or 3 of them, but it's not enough. So he's still going to send some boulders at them until I notice that they've left the cannon behind him. Viridian Lord's taking a hell of a charge right to the noggin there from those Chaos Knights with their lances, but now that the Knights have stopped their little charges, the Half Giants are going to be more than happy to tear them apart. Again, trying to work my way around with Dural, but realizing that I just can't do it. I'm moving around here. Going to be moving in to try and strike Archaon from this side. Alan is trying to throw himself on in there as well. He's getting blocked up by some of these Chosen with their halberds. Tough little fight for him. He might be a Druid warrior, but he's still just a Druid. Nice little charge there into my... Yeah, my Half Giants did take that charge. So even with that anti-large bonus, we don't have a charge defense or anything of that nature. So it still hurts us. It still definitely hurts us. Another big boulder. Luckily, the 2, even the Souls of Damnation, or yeah, the Soul of Damnation has been silenced there. So just rattling in some boulders to the likes of the Chaos Knights, just trying to shut them down. Now Dural worked his way on forward. Yes, he is in there, covered in blood, so he's a bit tough to spot, but he is trying to strike into Archaon. Slightly outclassed, perhaps, in that current engagement, but still hammering on in. Dismay, trying to eat up the Chosen, the little halberds. Again, nice little, definitely not his best target, but somebody's got to do it. And Terror is pursuing some of these Chaos Knights. Oh, that's a nice little standing stone set up just for us. Probably our ancestors actually setting that up at one stage or another. Druid Neophytes moving on in as we both managed to cause most of these disciplined Chosen warriors to rout. But even with that, Archaon still stands. Dural is engaging as best he can, using whatever magical abilities I can summon up for him. The Blessings of Valor there, giving us a little bit of melee attack and also the additional damage. Sort of allowing us to really go toe-to-toe with them a bit. 69 for 90 is still a little ways off. Boon of Courage for the armor, and also, yeah, popping off the Arcane Conduit and just giving him a heal. So Archaon sees him, his army is en route, but if he can take the head off the shoulders of the great Trusair, then perhaps he can claim some victory here before he bolts off with them. Very ruinous steed. So Dural is just backed up here by his fen base, everything else pursuing the routing forces there. So I'm just trying my best to give him whatever I can. Using the Light of Protection, definitely not a spell I've used very much at all in this campaign. But because Archaon has this magical attack damage, I thought 45% defense against that, added on to all of his other saves, it should be quite useful. Of course, his physical resistance is going to be getting sliced right on through, though, by that magical sword of Archaon. Right now, though, Fenbeast's taking the beating for him. Oh, goodness me. Shunting that horseman out of the way. Taking a good bit of damage there. Luckily, it's not fire damage to these Fenbeasts, though. But Imperfect Shield of the Old One's going down as well, just for a bit of a ward save. Losing decisively there, Archaon. Even with his cascading fire cloak. It's the melee defense that's the issue there. Because Dural's trying his best to get through, but it's 109 melee attack there. He managed to stack up onto him to try and get through the 96 melee defense. Again, healing up however he can there, Dural. just to keep himself going in this, what could be a duel. These Fen Beasts have been raised up by Dural's magical abilities, so it's an extension of his being that's engaging Archaon here. Still though, Cascading Fire Cloak doing some good damage. Fen Beasts, really dropping their health. It's tough to see Dural through all of this, but he's in there. If we get a little bit closer, I usually like to remove this, every unit disappearing when you get too close, but it's actually quite useful when you just have something stuck in a duel like this, or attempting a duel, as the Fen Beasts continue to just flail about at this chosen of chaos. Assassin Trophy as well, great little thing for me to use, just lowering his defense, but he's buffing his defense so much that it's not really helping us out. 120, we're not going to be getting through that at all, especially not Dural himself with his little 69 melee attack. Trying to pull out the Fen Beasts there. Dural wants to make sure that he finishes this off himself, banishing the soul of this Chaos Lord in 1v1 combat. So I'm doing what I can. Again, Blessings of Valor there, Light of Protection, War Cry ability, not costing any magic to do that. But Archaon's down to 190 health there. Still though, that massive armor value, a lot of melee defense, just not easy for me to get through, even with all the buffs I'm giving myself. He's still not taking any damage to these strikes, just sort of shunting them on back. And Dural, maximum health right now, but as soon as these abilities fade off, it's going to change very, very quickly. Dural's health is going to start to disappear. Still, 590, we've not dealt any sort of damage there. But Blessings going off again. Okay, I decided to buff it up, but it doesn't really do anything to buff it up. Just a quick panic movement, I guess. But yeah, when I do have the Blessings triggered and the Assassin Trophy triggered on Archaon, that does give me more than enough to do some very quick damage, all the way down to 180. But we just can't land that last strike. When Dural does hit, he hits bloody, like really, really hard. But it's just landing those strikes. 87 now. And again, Blessings faded off now. No debuffs going on Archaon. So Dural's health is disappearing. Arcane Conduit just trying to, grab some more magic for myself. As Archaon continues to strike us. Fire Cloak, more melee defense. Even if I triggered off Blessings now, I probably wouldn't be able to break through that 120 melee defense. I do try it though. The 87. No. Oh, down to 0. And he's still standing. Come on, Dural. Dural's health disappearing, but no, he does one more quick swing of that sword and he is gone. Okay, the duel perhaps is a little bit unnecessary, but oh, that was his only kill. Oh, I like that. That was his only kill in the battle. Yeah, it is what it is. I'm glad I did it. It went on a little. I got really tense at the end. I definitely screwed up a bit, but he just needed all of those buffs in order to even scratch him. Goodness me. But yeah, no execution for these guys. Oh, for all like men of chaos, but yeah, definitely for Archaon's chosen boys. Right, that's sort of it. They're all gone. Okay, so that was chaos finished. You just have to take on Archaon. I see. Well, fantastic, boys. That's that then. So they all just disappear. Ooh. Oh, wow. Cool, yeah. I'm not sure if he was already immune to chaos. Oh, right, okay, they all just disappear. Oh, I like that I did that before they took out Caydran. Because they were about to, like, strike into Caydran and wipe him out there. Which would have been a hell of a fight, but I'm glad that we kind of stopped that. One turn before Guardians of the World. But still, no, we'll get that. Jeebers. Super. Alright, well that's pretty good. I'll definitely be you know, well, I'll carry this episode on for a bit and see sort of generally how we end up. But wow, so how did they get on in the West before everybody sort of breaks their alliances? Yeah, we stopped them. Yeah, because I was thinking they would have blitzed down the West without anything stopping them. Alariel's even. Alariel survived. Oh, I love that. I love Alariel like running up to the north, like being pursued by these chaos forces, and then suddenly they scatter. Alariel by herself is just like, oh, I did this. Nice. Goodness me. Oh wow. Cormac, of course, ready to defend Albion from an attack that was thwarted. Goodness me. So we've got him, Magical, just chilling out there. It's only worth one level up, really? Come on. Warcry was actually super effective. Definitely was nice to have. I could have given, like, yeah, I mean, he could have had his chariot and everything, but no, I think he's alright. I'll give him, how much is that taken off him? Well, yes. Just so that I know he's got it. That'll be nice to give him his chariot. Look at this cute boy. I wouldn't actually use him on his chariot anyway, but you know, I'll take him off it next turn. But wow, okay, super. That's awesome. Okay, what we'll do is we'll end that there, and we'll just generally see like what everybody does. We'll get Guardians of the World, of course, done. And then I'll talk about what I'll do is I'll kind of talk about the narrative for the rest of this episode, and then there'll be the next episode, episode 21, will be, it'll be a really short one, but I'll just kind of talk about things I would maybe do differently for next time, and alright, maybe I can just include that in this one. We'll see, because that was quite early on, so I'll probably just include that in this one. But that'll be at the end. So super. Yeah, narrative from this. Where's Chaos gone? I would like to think that Dreadfleet got wiped too, same turn. Jeepers sake. Karakazul didn't even find them, but they just got confederated. Albion from this point would be a much more prevalent factor in kind of the definitely in the world of men. You know, I think the mists of Albion would remain. We would want to make sure that Albion itself is a very shrouded place. Yes, sure. Albion itself is an incredibly shrouded place, still very mysterious. We're not really wanting people to come to Albion, but I think we would be a much more we would be out there, especially among the Empire and Bretonia. Non-aggression pact. I'll tell you what, man. I'll give you that. I think that's worth it. So we would be much more. Oh, hey, there was a cat in my room. Didn't even notice him. I think, yeah, he wants the door. 2 secs. Good. Yes. You know, I'd like to think that there would be. Well, let me just read this. Oh, damn! It sucks that we couldn't have actually used that. But no, that's definitely. I mean, it makes an art of sense that we get that after Archaon is gone, after Chaos has been pushed back. That's when we kind of are bestowed this energy to really beat back Chaos if they ever emerge again, which they most certainly will. Oh goodness sake. Oh right, I thought they actually took that there, dearie me. But yeah, so I'd like to think that especially after, you know, defeating Archaon, we'd have a lot of respect. You know, Dural himself fought side by side with the Emperor there, with Karl Franz, with with this new empowered empire that will really, they'll take everything up to here. Of course, probably having to do a bit of tomfoolery with their new allies, Tilia, but we would hopefully be sort of hand in hand with them about that. You know, Albion Trussayers and Druids being a somewhat present feature in like the courts of these Imperials, and yeah, much closer relations overall, and the same to an extent with Bretonia, I'd hope. Continuing on that tradition there to Corona. Gorgeous, really nice place. Any other fancy locations that I just didn't really see? I don't really know. The world is, of course, an incredibly altered place now. The lizard men are not even a... What's this, sorry? Oh, they get access to some of that stuff. Very cool. Yeah. Of course, a very changed place. Itza. Ah, wow. Holy smoke, Itza's huge. Yeah, that looks really cool. Also, leading up to that, that's dope. Yeah. So I think that we would... Yeah, the lizardmen, of course, not even a shell of their former selves. The lizardmen pretty much wiped out and replaced by humans. We would want to be certainly a factor, at least, in bringing the lizardmen back to some sort of peace, and that's most certainly something that would cause a disturbance. We'd hope that we could sort of use our political influence to, you know, help the Empire see the truth that, you know, that the lizardmen are important and Lustria is their home, so that they would be able to sort of move back to holding territory along the coastline, and the jungles of Lustria itself would remain for the lizardmen. That would certainly cause tension throughout the ages, but as long as they continue to exist, that's all we really would want. As for Arabe and the like down here, of course the Crusaders have the Crusaders and the likes of the Bretonians down here have gained our great respect. Sultan Jafar there, and unfortunately, the Sultan and the people, not so much the people of Arabe, like we like our guys over here. We'd probably, yeah, I don't know if they've kind of maybe lost their rights though. This would most likely be becoming entirely under the control of Bretonia, as the Caliph has shown his unwillingness to, you know, even say, goodness sake, there's so many great battles around here. Oh, whoa, yeah, they've just been smashing it up constantly, but he's shown that he's not really to be trusted, turning his back on humanity. Even when Chaos was at our doorstep, really, he was willing to sort of make peace with them, even. So that's not something we can tolerate.
My servant fails me.
Of course, down here again, we'd hope that the lizardmen could survive, which they do have this mountain pass, which is good. Good old tic-tac-toe. I think that the rats are, like, I could continue this campaign. I could go off and we could deal with the clan wars, but which clan wars is certainly a menace, it seems. But with an empowered dwarf, they should push up. They should take back Carrot Gate Peaks, even with the likes of these mounts are really scary. Even with the likes of the Chaos Dwarves just causing them a bit of heartache as they do so. Oh goodness me, you're at war with everybody there. Level 40 though, which is quite impressive. Yeah, a level 40 standard lord is, well, it's a legendary lord, but yeah, just not a guy that got spawned in is quite interesting to see. Oh, I think that's something that's added as well. That's really cool. Yeah, I've never spent much time around this area, so it would be fun to like come in and cleanse this, but no, I think we've done what we set out to do, and I think that the people of Albion would return now to Albion, sort of get everything back under control there. As for the territory that we claimed in order to get this done, you know, the likes of the Forest of Gloom, and we didn't. Oh yes, also. not so much the... Where? No, it was further north than this. No, it wasn't. Yep. I always get confused between the Empire and Kislev. There we go. Griffin Wood. I think Griffin Wood in the Forest of Gloom is something that our people would control. We would keep control of that until, hopefully, relations with the Wood Elves continued to develop, and perhaps, like, we would be willing to use those as a way to bind the Wood Elves to humanity. And that would be pretty solid. The likes of Dark Tower, of course, Skaven Blight. Could have actually been upgraded for a while, what's the daisies? But I think that we would maybe hold on to that again until every element of corruption is gone, and especially when Clan Wars is still a threat, we would want to keep that. We know that the rats would return and we wouldn't want it thrown away. Sartosa, though, we would give up Sartosa. Yeah, that would probably, again, yeah, that could be something that we give to Tilia in exchange for the Empire taking Kislev and anything around there. I think that's something that we could definitely make fly, sort of the ruined Kislev for, you know, a nice sort of well-made Sartosa, much closer to home for them as well. So I think that's an idea. Oh yeah, Gainvale is also something that gets its own location, which is pretty nice to see. The High Elves would continue to have shuffled on over there, and now with the Dark Elves wiped out, the High Elves can move up, take Nagarond. Seas would of course be a lot safer. Slavers be damned and ruined, I'd hope, but not what the High Elves do. You know, they've got some slaves, but hey, much happier slavery. Much nicer slavery. So not so much nicer, prettier slavery that's the term I was looking for. And yeah, Norska would be Bretonnian and Imperial. But yeah, I'd like to think that the relations between Morrigan and Dural would be mended to an extent. Of course, hopefully seeing each other's ways of doing things, coming around to each other's sides a little bit. Of course, hopefully Morrigan's absence from at least from view in Albion society would be lessened slightly, and she would be a much more prevalent figure in Albion dealings. The Queen, of course, showing her prowess, and Cormac would be rewarded. Oh, level up, why not? Throw that down. Well, tell you what, there you go, Cormac. There you go. You deserve that. But yeah, so definitely a very enjoyable little campaign. Now, yeah, so that's me sort of done my little narrative thing. I think we'll. Oh, yeah, very nice indeed. Waystones restored. Yeah, all nice and yellow. Cheaper's sake. Wow. Extended pretty far, but yeah. Heroes, what is the thing I'm looking for? It's not objectives. I'll be clicking around a bit. But yeah, I'm not going to be able to actually complete the campaign properly. It's wanting something a bit different. Oh, Warhordes of Chaos still lurking around, but I think we're okay. So what would I maybe do differently? I would definitely want to play on... I would not change the battle difficulty. I think the battle difficulty is definitely what it is. Research available. No more research to be done, I'm afraid. Oh yeah, oh cute. Yeah, Lizard Men and High Elves. Oh yeah, shoot, everybody really likes me for that. Yeah, that came in at a nice time actually. I think that does. I was hoping to actually have a battle with it, but I think we're okay. I think we're okay with that happening. So I would definitely want to play at a higher sort of campaign difficulty. I think that would have changed the game a bit. I think it would have made the taking my territory a little bit more of a difficulty for sure, but as well as that, I think it would have made the forces that we encountered throughout a bit of a higher quality, and because these factions are having more money, they're actually buying better troops, or training better troops, I should say. So I think that's something that I would have liked to have done. but I would have wanted to do that from the start. I thought about that halfway through, and I was like, no, I should maybe do that. But yeah, when I do this again, because I will definitely do another Albion campaign, it's certainly something that I want. I want to maybe try... Oh, beast catches. I want to try and do a more aggressive Albion. Now, I don't mean that like fighting the Empire, fighting Bretonnia and so on, but more of an expansionist, I should say, Albion. With this one, I was much more just trying to be a little background force, aiding them, building them up to prepare them for the Scourge of Chaos and so on. But I think it would maybe be better to really try and connect that Waystone, kind of like what we did up in Norska, but instead of giving this territory away, like holding onto it, to kind of have no. You want money for it? No, get the hell away from your Grug. They want money, gentlemen. Really? I don't think I can't hold you to that though. I think you'll break that. No. So yeah, let's see. I think big thing. Oh wow, nice money. Big thing is of course just I would want to. Whoa. Oh wow. Yeah, you see this whole area. I've got very little idea of like how it's actually laid out. Wow, very cool. Gee, you've got a hell of a choke point there. Before you get to, I thought that you could just sort of move right down there and you were in. No, okay. So that's one thing that I think would solve a lot of problems. That I was, well, not so much problems, but a lot of little issues, like you're seeing with the Empire right now. Yeah, it's really like hodgepodgey forces, which I'm not saying it wouldn't be, but I just think overall they would probably have some higher quality troops that we'd be seeing. I love the stubborn pills. I think they're so cool. But yeah, and yeah, throughout I think that there would be some more interesting armies. I think, yeah, of course. So, say more aggression next time. Glad that I did this sort of really more passive thing. Not so much passive, but let's get you two facing that way. It's cute. Not so much passive, but more supportive in our ways, rather than taking off the territory for ourselves. Orin's turned up here, which is nice to see. As well, would have allowed me to have a bit more money, so that I could have used a few more of my unit types. It's a shame to not see the feral Griffins in action. I was going to name them. They've got armor-piercing missiles. They don't shoot things. I don't know why it says that. Just does. Yeah. No. So they're anti-large. Would have been a nice little unit to have, but goodness me, very very cool. Absolute machines. And everybody gets that. I'm glad. Oh yeah, the Barwites survived. That's something I really. I hope that they do something about the Isle of Wights. I mean, if that's the way it's meant to be, you're meant to just choose between the Great Ogham Circle or the. But I mean, it's got to both be there. Yeah, Surging Waystones. I don't know what you could do. That's the thing. Yeah, I say like do something, but I really have no idea what you could do or how you could fix that issue. As I say, yeah, I thought about maybe just releasing this all sort of as a oneer, but I'm pretty content with it. I think it was hopefully quite entertaining. I hope that people did enjoy it. Didn't go quite the way that I was expecting, of course, but I'll definitely still pop it out as normal. And yeah, I'll be returning to Warhammer 2 at some other point. I just wanted to get a shorter campaign out, considering how long the Northern Dunedain campaign took. But yeah, fantastic. So we will, I think we'll call it there. I don't think there's anything more I need to rattle through. Yeah, no, I think we're good. So thank you guys very much. Oh yes, stats and records. That's sort of what I was looking for. We of course didn't really go through all that much, but we'll probably just do a quick fast forward, just so we can sort of see what the world as it was going on. No, maybe fast forward a little bit faster than this, maybe a little bit faster than that. Should have maybe had this rolling for a while, but yeah. No, Warhammer's a lot of fun. I don't know as much about Warhammer as I do about Medieval 2, of course, but I like to think I've still got a decent grasp of it. And yeah, we did all right. Albion's definitely a very powerful faction, I think. So we had an easier time than maybe you would with some others. And I don't think Albion's ever going to... I find Albion such an interesting faction, an interesting idea, but I don't think it's ever something that we're going to see in the game as standard. Whereas like the likes of Kislev, I always sort of knew that they were going to be in it, so I'm very excited to get them played. I thought about actually doing a quick campaign with some of the modded Kislev stuff before we get actual Kislev, just to kind of have a look at that, because there's some amazing Kislev mods that they've made it so that it's pretty damn good. But it's always great to have something that's made by Creative Assembly itself, and so you can really it fits in a lot easier, for sure. But no, it's not too bad. As for the boys, like Bretonnia did very well up in the north, but then they kind of just chilled. I was quite surprised to see that. Whereas the Empire just continued to spread and spread and spread, and they really, like, they were still really quite small. Even, you know, turn 48 we're on now, and they've not really managed to do all that much. But it seems like as soon as they got that first like confederation, they were just bang, bang, bang. I mean, that's kind of how it always goes. Once you get that sort of first confederation, you're a big boy, and taking on taking on the Marienburg. That's who I was thinking of, and just smashing them. Oh, I was distraught. Of course, I couldn't save the Fey Enchantress. All of this owned by Clan Scryer, but we just come pushing on down, and we rid Clan Scryer, well, red Bretonnia and Estalia of Clan Scryer, which is very good. Sucks that I couldn't have saved her. It's definitely somebody that I think Dural would have cared for her input in the world, even if they don't really even if he doesn't really understand her faith and so on. It still is a very, very nice. So many wars, goodness me. Still is a very important figure to have in the world. We'll just do a quick little sort of jump forward a little bit. Yeah, so I gave all that to Bretonnia. Tried to sort of remake Tilia a bit, but then I just held on to Sartosa. Yeah, we've got... Where does the first sort of Chaos invasion come in? Yeah, sort of right about there? I think so. Because all of Nagaron just gets wiped. I was really scared, and I would have been quite interested to see how far down they got. Another campaign I would like to do at some point, perhaps soonish, we'll see in the grand scheme of things, soonish. I want to do the Amazons down in Lustria, sort of very opposite side of the map, but I'll have to see. You know, again, I'd want Chaos to make it down to Lustria and to really threaten us there, so I would need to make sure that, you know, the Empire's not just going to beat them back, because the Empire was doing all right. I think had I not gotten involved at all, the Empire would have been able to hold them. Yeah, which is a surprise. I really thought they would get smashed. I didn't know that you just had to beat Archaon. I thought that you had to beat all of the legendary lords. Archaon was going to get wiped out. Like, I was glad that I fought him instead of somebody else. But had I known that, I don't know if I would have... It gets a bit silly when you start trying to engineer situations in narrative campaigns. I always like to try and just play and have the situation resolved and try to create a narrative around that, rather than actively create a situation to make your narrative. You can edit things, well, not edit, you can try your best to make a situation happen, but it's never too fun to fully engineer an outcome. So we did what we could. Oh goodness me. Again, more and more wars. But zooming on over, yeah, the Empire just absolute powerhouse. Gave some stuff to the dwarves, of course, which was, yeah, it wasn't something that I was planning to do. Of course, I was hoping that the dwarves would just handle themselves and I was going to be protecting humanity, but the dwarves kind of they needed it a bit, and it was very useful to do that, and just kept us around. And that's everybody getting wiped then right at the end. So super, and that's sort of the final state. Can we not? Yeah, I was hoping we could like zoom out just a little bit more, but you can sort of see what's going on. Clan Moors would still be a threat down in the south, but I think a sturdy line of dwarves with the Empire like ready to go as well after sort of expanding in the north. Yeah, Clan Moors would not be able to, even if they controlled all of this, they just wouldn't be strong enough. Backed up by the Hunt Marshal of it. Oh, the Hunt Marshal even took... Ah, funny, they took the Gallon's Graveyard, jeepers sake. I think the Empire is the major world power. It depends if you want to be like a very positive viewpoint on the world after this, or a negative viewpoint, but the Empire I think could take on everybody, really. Who is the strongest? Yeah. Wow, Clan Moors is number 3. And I'm number 2. Okay. I was like, do I not know number 2? No. I'm number 2, yeah. So Clan Moors is down there. And they're as strong as me, which I think it overvalues, like the game definitely overvalues my strength. It thinks I'm a lot stronger than I am. And I am pretty powerful. But yeah. Just having a zoom down. Yeah, the Empire is just very, very... This is definitely like a human century coming up. Hey, why were we not trading? I guess you just didn't have a trade port or something like that. Be nice to get that secured.
Can I assist?
Oh, fantastic, B.
But I ask that you be Bretonia commands
Nice. I know it doesn't really matter much, but I just like to get that done. Nice that because I thought she was gonna like almost get wiped out. Araby took that territory, and Sultan Jafar is actually really gaining some ground, but she's still got these 2 locations, so I don't see her getting wiped out. And I think while that's happening, somebody else is going to maybe come in. Ooh. Oh, but still, somebody else might roll up. Raponce has got an interesting army. Very interesting in Raponce. And actually, yeah, wow. Oh, dearie me. Maybe she wouldn't. But depending what Jafar has, but I think it's probably kind of trashy because he's only got 1 province. But yeah, good bit of money. Spend that in Albion. Zagham. Oh yeah, Zagham. I didn't talk about that. We'd like to hold on to Zagham as well. In the same way as we're holding on to the forests, but it would be something that if Bretonia ever said like, hey, look, can we, we want this. Is Blackstone Post different? I think it might be. Yeah. If Bretonia ever said, look, we don't want you having territory in there, we would surrender it without any confrontation. The only stuff we care about is Albion. And that's the way it is, and that's the way it always should be. So we'll focus lastly on our boys there, Morrigan and Dural. So again, thank you guys very much, and I'll see you later.